What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com, playpicks.com. Going to talk to you about Monday Night Football between the Steelers and the Bengals. Before we get going, hit that subscribe button. As always, give us a thumbs up and then let us know in the comment section how you are playing, let's call it an interesting game here between the Steelers and the Bengals. And I say interesting because we don't normally have Monday Night Football games where we're looking at 14.5 point spreads. Yes, we have eclipsed 2 touchdowns in this thing, and we are going with 14.5 in a 40.5 total game. That is at DraftKings. If we head over here to MGM, 14.5, 40.5 as well. SportsBetting.com, we are at 14.5 and 40.5. So you can see, guys, big point spread, low total. Very interesting as to how this is going to go. Full written breakdown over here at thelines.com as well. Scroll down here, let you read along as we go through some of the stats. This will be a quick one because, man, there's not a lot to say about this game. What do you really say? I mean, look, the Pittsburgh offense has struggled at times, but this Cincinnati defense is literally one of the worst 3 defenses statistically in just about every single advanced category that you can find out there. I mean, they're in the bottom 5 for sure in everything. You know, you look at, pass defense, run defense, their sacks, they're down at 30th in the league. Pass rush win rate, 31st. Run stop, okay, they're 26th. They're 26th there. But yards per play, 28. Yards per pass, 26. Yards per rush, 28. Early down EPA, 28. Explosive passes allowed, 31st. Explosive runs allowed, 32nd. So you can see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this Bengals defense, right? And this team pre and post Burrow are 2 just completely different teams, because at least on the offensive side of the ball, they gave you hope that they were going to be able to do something for you. But as we know now, they're starting Ryan Finley in this game. They have no choice. They're going 3rd string quarterback here. And they've tried the Ryan Finley thing. It didn't work. They've tried to make him a thing, and it didn't work. And so time and time again, this guy's gone out there and failed. And this is one of the better defenses in the league. Now, before we get to the Steelers defense, let's just talk about the Steelers offense, right? The only thing they've done really, really well is keep Big Ben pretty clean. Up until last week, Big Ben had not been sacked in, 270-something dropbacks. They're 4th in pressure rate allowed. They're 1st overall in adjusted sack rate. So they have been very good at keeping Big Ben clean. Outside of that, rush offense, 30th, DVOA, 28th, according to Pro Football Focus. Adjusted line yards, 31st. Their pass block win rate, 30th. Their run block win rate, 26th. Yards per rush, 31st. Yards per play, 26th. Yard per pass, 25th. So, we're talking about a pretty bad offense, actually, overall. Steelers are not good. They go in little spurts within a game where, like, 2 drives in a row, you think that they're competent, and then they just go completely dead the rest of the game. Now, is that because Big Ben isn't completely healthy, didn't really recover completely from that shoulder thing that he had going on, elbow thing that he had going on? Maybe so. Maybe so. But offense has not been good all season long. But what has been good all season long is their defense. And their defense really, according to pretty much every single advanced metric, has them right up there. Number 1 overall DVOA, number 1 overall Pro Football Focus, number 1 pass defense DVOA, number 1 Pro Football Focus, number 3 rush defense DVOA, number 2 rush defense Pro Football Focus, number 1 in pressure rate created, number 1 in blitz rate. They blitz more than any team in the NFL. Number 1 in sacks in the NFL. Number 1 in pass rush win rate. Yards per play, yards per pass, early down success rate, early down EPA, points per play, all those within the top 3 with this defense. So pretty much every single week, this defense has showed up. Unlike the offense. And that spells bad news for a Cincinnati offense that was already bad, got worse when they went to Allen, and now is going to be putrid going to Ryan Finley. This team, just like the defense, I could go on the offense here, 30th DVOA, 29th Pro Football Focus. Their pass offense, 26th and 23rd. Rush offense, 31. Adjusted sack rate, 27. Adjusted line yards, 32. Pass block run rate, 27. Yards per play, 31st. Yards per pass, 28th. Yards per rush, 29th. You get it. Early down success rate. Early down EPA, 29th. Points per play, 31st. So again, just like the defense, the offense is literally in the bottom 4 or 5 in every single advanced statistical category there is. Every single one of them. Explosive passes, 32nd. Explosive runs, 32nd. Turnover margin, 30th. Red zone offense, 28th. Like, it is atrocious. And now they go to Ryan Finley. So a defense that has shown up every single week against Ryan Finley, which is why we are sitting as we are sitting right now at 14.5 point spread. Guys, so here's what you just have to ask yourself. There will be a point where the Steelers are up by more than 14.5 points in this game. They have a lot to prove, coming off a couple losses. This is kind of the bounce back, get right spot here. But do they keep that 14.5? Will Mike Tomlin keep the foot on the gas? Will Mike Tomlin start pulling guys to make sure that they're healthy? I mean, look, they're making the playoffs for sure. And this is the stuff that's really hard to handicap. And it's stuff that's really hard because we're kind of taking a guess here. How much does he want to step on the throat of the Bengals? How much do they need to do that as, some sort of morale booster within this team? Because it's almost a name your score type game. This isn't like a Rams-Jets thing. The Jets have talent on defense. They're one of the best run defenses in the league. They create a decent amount of pressure. This is not that. The Cincinnati defense is literally is terrible at every single level. So the Steelers will be up by a couple touchdowns at some point in this game. Does Tomlin keep going? Does he keep pushing the gas? And that's what you have to ask yourself if you want to bet a side in this game, which is really too hard for me to do. Look, traditional thinking is a game that only has a 40.5 point total. It's dog or pass, right? Because if you look at this, they're only supposed to be 40 points scored in this game. Give or take a couple, right? Because that's where the line is set, 40.5. And you're getting 14.5 of those 40 points. So again, traditional thinking is you're supposed to take the dog or you pass in this thing. But I don't know how the Bengals score. I don't know how they get the ball in the end zone against this Steelers defense that has been the one bright spot in this league that's shown up every single week. So that's the problem. So actually, I think for me, it's a Steelers or pass. I'm going against traditional thinking. I think it's very simple, a very real possibility the Steelers win this game, 28-7, 28-10, 31-10, something like that. And so it's a Steelers or pass for me. I don't know if it'll make it in the account, guys, but I can't back the Bengals here with Ryan Finley at quarterback against this Steelers defense. Going to be too tough. Going to pass on the total here as well because, again, if the Steelers decide to, they can get the majority of this on their own. And I don't want to be on the underside of a team that wants to go out and prove a point. And even when they're up 35, they're still trying to score. I mean, it'd be an over or pass for me. An over or nothing. But it's an over or nothing for me. The only thing I'm looking at, there are a couple of props I do like in this game. And if we take a look over here, you can look at Ben Roethlisberger passing yards. It's 277 here at DraftKings. Over at MGM, it's at 275. And then over here at SportsBetting, we are looking at, let's get this out of the way for you so we can get a clearer picture. Roethlisberger passing yards. So it's 278. So we'll do it over here. Although it's just a 120. So actually we can come to the 277 that's not. So it's only one passing yard. I'm going to play the under because here's my thought in this. They get up early and then they start and then they call off the dogs a little bit from a passing standpoint and start running the ball. They've been so bad running the ball. I think finding out if they can do it at all is something that Tomlin wants to do. He actually said in a press conference, now we don't listen to coach speak too much, but he actually said he wanted to figure out what's been going on with the run game. and try to get better at the run game. So while Ben might get the majority of the way here early on, I could see him throwing for nearly 200 yards in the first half. I think that the under here is the play, well, it's at least the play that I'm going to go. And this is strictly based off of, look, one, my numbers are only in the 260 range anyway. So this number seems a bit high. And then also, I do believe they're going to try to run the ball and trying to figure out how to get any sort of semblance of a run offense, because it's been one of the worst run offenses in the entire NFL, this Steelers team. So I'll take the under 277.5 on Roethlisberger. Now, about Finley, he's at 189 here. He's at 194 over here. And then over here at SportsBetting, Finley pass yards is at 187. So we are at 189 over here, 187 over here. I'm actually going to take the over at SportsBetting on 187, and this is based on garbage time. Like I said, I think the Steelers get ahead in this game a ton. And I think, getting to 188 yards is not that much whenever you're playing against soft coverage for, majority of a quarter. And I think that's what we'll see here. There's no reason for Pittsburgh to continue with their foot on the gas, blitzing all over the place in the fourth quarter when they're up a ton of points. And they'll just play soft coverage. And I actually like Finley to get the garbage time cover here. You probably think you're dead through, 2.5, 3 quarters. And then I do like the garbage time in Finley over 187.5. The other play that I'm looking at is James Conner rush yards. Because again, if I think that Ben Roethlisberger isn't going to have a huge day passing the ball, well, look, 270, if he throws for 270, it's still a good day. But rushing yards here, James Conner, 44.5 at MGM. If we look at rushing yards, he is actually off the board over here at DraftKings. I like the over 44.5 because, again, going to run a ton in the second half, maybe even try to run a ton early to see if they can figure out some stuff with the run game. James Conner has had multiple terrible games in a row, and they're going to give him a chance to try to get back on track as well. Projections for me for Conner was closer to 54 yards, so a whole 10 yards, I think, of value here in this one. So I am actually taking the over in 44.5 here. Not a huge, massive edge, but again, I had it closer to 54, 55. So I will take the over on James Conner as well. So that's kind of how I'm playing this one, guys. Look, it's tough, right? Because we're trying to guess what Tomlin and the Steelers team is going to do. Are they going to keep the foot on the gas? Are they not? How are they going to go about it? And that's just too much. Listen, there's a lot of games that we can still play. We still have a couple of weeks left in the playoffs and all that. And so no need to go crazy in a game with a 14.5 point spread where literally the team can decide how much they want to win by. So probably going to be passing on the side and the total. Like I said, it would be a Steelers or pass, or it'd be an over or pass for me, and just going to play those props and hope those go at it there tonight. So that's how I'll be playing it. Again, full written breakdown over here, over on the lines. And if you need a sports book, just click on your state. No matter what state you're in, we have the very best deals you can get. Free money, free bets, risk-free bets, match bets, all the different things like that. And you can see, I just compared 3 different books. There's different lines, different juices, different things like that. So you need to have a few accounts that you can have multiple outs with as well. Guys, as always, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Everything we do is free. Everything we do at the lines is free. So hit that subscribe button down below, and then give us a thumbs up and let us know in the comment section, hey, this one should be fairly easy. Not a ton of points supposed to be scored. If you can guess the score exactly, we'll ship you an Amazon gift card here for the holidays. Hopefully, we do appreciate all the support here on the channel. You guys are really helping this thing grow, so we want to give back any way we can. So again, you have to put Steelers 38, Bengals 2, and then and get it exactly right. And then if you do, we'll ship you an Amazon gift card as a thanks for being a viewer, being a subscriber. You got to be a subscriber, by the way, of course, and for liking the vid as well. Good luck on all your bets here on Monday Night Football.